Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessie, and today we are doing episode 3 of finishing every book series that I'm in the middle of, or attempting to. I'm in the middle of 19. If you've seen the last 2 episodes, you know that I started off with 19 in episode 1, and then episode 2 I was at 20. But we're back at 19, so we're getting somewhere. First up, I have been reading A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. This is book 3 in the An Ember in the Ashes series. I just finished book 2 in the last episode of this, and the series is just so good. I'm actually continuing 2 series that I was reading in the last episode. So I'm on book 3 right now. I'm 40% of the way through this. I think this might be my favorite in the series so far. A lot of interesting things are popping up, and the world building is developing a lot more, and the characters are growing a lot in this one, and I love it a lot. I'm having a really good time with this one so far. But I just ordered the physical copy of this one, book 3 and book 4, from somebody on Pango Books. So hopefully those will be here soon. This one I have from the library right now. I'm gonna finish out this one, and then after I get book 4 in the mail, we're gonna read that physically, and then we're gonna complete this whole series in this vlog. Other than that, I do also plan on reading Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is going to complete the Natural series for me. I'm very excited for this one because book 3 was crazy, and I can't wait to see what happens because it was very intense in book 3, and there are a lot of things that still need answered that I'm just so curious about. And then my last book, it's still up in the air. I'm thinking maybe I can finish out the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy by Stephanie Garber. I don't have that book on me physically. If I can find that at the store, I will pick it up and we'll probably read that one. If not, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish another series. We're just going to have to read a book that continues a series. But that is it for the books that we'll be reading in this video. We're going to get into the vlog. I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully we will cross out some full series in this video. I'll see you when I have an update. Well, hello, we have some updates to talk about. I have not updated yet, which is very typical for me to do in a reading vlog. I'm so sorry. I finished 3 books. 2 are for this vlog, but I do want to address one because it's technically part of a series. We'll get into that in a little bit, but we're going to just do some updates because it's needed. You guys know that I was reading A Reaper at the Gates. This is the book that I started out with. I did in fact finish this. I really enjoyed this one. I think this is my favorite out of the series so far because this whole series I was waiting for more world building, more history, and more of those interesting elements that we've been getting throughout this series with like fantasy and stuff, and it definitely grew in this book. So I was very surprised and I really loved it. There's a point of view for a side character in this one. I love our main characters, I really do, but there's a side character that the more that I read about them, I grow to love them even more. Their character growth and their storyline is so interesting. They're the person that I'm finding myself caring for a lot throughout this series. I'm just waiting for things to wrap up. Not that I want this series to end. I'm very much enjoying it, but there's just so much that has happened. I need to know that these people are going to be safe. It's like, it's so keep you on the edge of your seat, and it's stressful. So I need some clarity, and I need some peace in this world and with our characters. We're gonna move into book 4 next, actually. That's the book I'm gonna start after I talk about all these. But yeah, guys, this series has been very stressful, and I feel for these characters. I really do. And especially with this one too, there's a lot that went down. There's a lot that goes down in every book, but this one was very intense, and we actually got an escalation of war aspects. The ending of this, it's like it's gonna get even worse, which is insane. We'll see, but I'm gonna give this one a 4.5 as well. I think I rated them all 4.5, but this one is my favorite. I love this series, but I don't think I'm gonna have any 5 stars out of it. I don't think it's gonna be something that I'm crazy in love with, but it's so good, and I still appreciate everything that this series is giving. But that is Reaper at the Gates. That is book 3 of An Ember in the Ashes. We have 1 book left of this series, and then after that we're gonna talk about the book that has nothing to do with this video, but maybe kind of technically. In 2023, I read A Study in Drowning by Ava Reid. I really thought this book was a standalone. I don't know when it was written if it was meant to be a standalone. That's what I have assumed. It did get a sequel, which is A Theory of Dreaming. It came out not too long ago, but I got that book as a loan from my library. It was something that I just really wanted to read in the moment. I was very excited for it, so I got that from Libby, and I did read that after I finished Reaper at the Gates. And I'm talking about it because I guess it's technically the sequel to A Study in Drowning. So I'm kind of working on a series. There is a novella coming out, I think in September or whatever, that I'm probably going to pick up as well, but I'm not going to count it as a series or anything, or I'm not going to track it because I haven't been tracking it. But I did just want to mention that I read that book. I gave it a 4 stars. I would say if you didn't like A Study in Drowning, I wouldn't recommend picking up A Theory of Dreaming just because it feels like a bonus add-on book. It wasn't anything too plot crazy. There was like an extension of the plot and what happened in the events of the first book, but I think if you didn't love the first book, you're not going to be entertained by what is happening in A Theory of Dreaming. So just keep that in mind. If you like Ava Reed's writing, I still would recommend it because I love her quotes, and her writing's so interesting, and this world especially is interesting. It's like a falling into a dreamscape sort of, but you don't know what the heck is going on. It's like a folk fantasy. I love it. I enjoy my time reading these books. Definitely wasn't as good as A Study in Drowning, but it was a nice addition to the world and our characters. Next, I did 100% plan on updating this book when I was like 100 pages in or halfway through, but I couldn't put it down. I read this book in 2 days. This is Bad Blood by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is book 3 in the Natural series. No. I finished the Natural series. Guys, I finished the series. Oh my god. Okay. We have completed the Natural series. Why did I think it was book 3? I don't know. There is a novella in the back of this. I didn't read that. I think I'm going to save novellas that I want to read for maybe a 24-hour reading vlog if I do one in the future. I thought this was going to be my favorite out of the series, but I still think that All In was my favorite. This one, okay, we got our closure from everything that we have been questioning throughout this series. I like the way that we got there, and I like the way that everything was figured out, but I do feel like the ending was very abrupt. I just felt like I was reading the ending and everything was getting found out, and we were getting answers, but it didn't satisfy me as much as I thought I would for some reason. I'm giving this a 4 stars, maybe a 4.25. Very enjoyable, very fast reads, very interesting. I love the way that Jennifer Lynn Barnes can connect elements throughout the whole entire series together. It's so cool, and I love the way that people's brains work when they create something like this. I just think throughout the series I didn't find a connection with the characters, which, I mean, it's not like a contemporary book, so I guess it makes sense that we don't get connected to characters, but that's just something that I look for in books and something that I love. Overall, very, very good. Would highly recommend the series if you have not started it yet, especially going into the fall and whatever, because it's fun, even though it's about serial killers. Can't believe we have finished the series. Check that off. Very satisfying. Going into the last 2 books of this video, the next one I'm going to be reading is A Sky Beyond the Storm. I don't know what is gonna happen in this book. I'm scared. I'm curious if you've read this series. Let me know what your favorite book has been. I feel like a lot of people like the first 2, but since I like the 3rd book the best, I'm wondering if I like this one even better. We are dealing with 2 people who are quite evil, and we just need to see their reign of terror end. And I know it's probably going to, but the way we're gonna get there, who the heck knows? I'm nervous. It's been a while since I have started this book because I've been crazy busy. I filmed other videos, so I've had to read other books as well, but we're finally back to focusing on this series vlog and these books. I am on page 100 of this. I just got to part 2. On page 105 of A Sky Beyond the Storm. I'm really liking this one. I know I said book 3 was my favorite, but I honestly think this might be, just with the way it's going. Our characters in this one are kind of coming back and connecting with each other, and I'm just so excited for that. I'm so excited to see where they go, where their stories end up, and just how they end up, because there's so much that has happened to them in this series. So I'm very excited to just sit down all day and read this. I want to take the day off and read as much as I possibly can because I haven't had that in a while. I hate that I can't talk too much when I film series vlogs because obviously these books, if they're this far into a series, I can't say much. My thoughts on this one so far are just that I love the characters and what we're getting with them. The other books in the series have felt kind of lonely just because our characters have been split up and they're all focusing on their different storylines and what they have to go through. But with this one, I feel like we're getting back to a good point. I don't even want to say getting back to a good point because I feel like book 1 started off bad as well. Everything in here kind of feels new because we're finally getting some positive energy because this whole series has been so crazy and dark and negative. Obviously, this is the last book. It's going to get very intense and things are going to get dark in this one as well. But I'm hoping we can come out on the bright side. I'm crossing my fingers because it's just been a crazy ride so far. It is the next day. I have an update on A Sky Beyond the Storm. I made it to page 200 and... oh, I'm on page 329. Okay, I guess I didn't pay attention after I stopped reading last night. I know I literally just said in the last update that this was my favorite book so far in the series, just from the beginning, or that it could possibly be. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I don't think that's the case anymore. The pacing in this one seems very slow to me, and it's weird because it is the last book in a series, so you think it would be all like boom, 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 things are happening, very exciting, action-packed, but that's not the case. This one felt like it was going to be different from the beginning and what I was reading with our characters, and scenes were changing, but it feels the same as the past two books. I just feel like we're getting a lot of the same stuff. Like, yes, the battles are different. There's more info on the magic and our characters and what they deal with within themselves with magic things and whatever. The pacing just feels the same. These battles are happening, but it's not on page as much as it should be. There was a scene not too long ago where a battle happened. There was a small paragraph where it was like, okay, this battle happened, this many people died, and that was it. We didn't get the battle. It was just said that this battle happened. It's like all this time passes in the story, but on page we're only really getting our characters in the downtime, it seems like, and then their conversations with each other. So I think that's my biggest issue with this series so far, is that there's not enough on page battle or intense moments as there should be. Because of what is happening and what the storyline entails, I just feel like there should be so much more on that and so much written description on battles and war, and there's not, and it just seems like it's a lot of a slower pace than we should be getting. But I'm still enjoying this series a lot. It's just not something that can be a favorite of mine. I still love it. I'm not saying I dislike it in any way. It's just there could be more for me personally. But I'm gonna sit and finish this hopefully within the next few hours. It's currently August 29th, I believe. Yes, it's August 29th. I do want to finish this book and my next book that I need to read by the end of August. So I need to finish this today, hopefully start Once Upon a Broken Heart later today, and then read that. It's Friday right now, so read that maybe today, and then Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be done with that. Just because I think it will be satisfying to have all these books read in August. So it's going to be my personal goal for this book and the next one. Hey peeps, I need to do an update because I finished A Sky Beyond the Storm and I am a little over halfway through our very last book. So we're going to do quick updates before we finish out the last book of this video. So A Sky Beyond the Storm, it's funny because I was like, oh, this might be my favorite book in the series, but it actually was my least favorite. I just think at this point, being in book 4, I was over the pacing of the series. Not to say it was bad. I still very much enjoy the series. I love it. I would recommend it. I just didn't feel like it flowed in the way that I would have preferred it to. There were a lot of battles that were happening, and at that point I just felt like it was kind of repetitive because it took so long to get to the conclusion of the series. There's one character in here, I pronounce her name as Helen. I don't know if that's actually how it's pronounced. I truly think that her storyline, her character growth and development is one of the best that I have ever read. She carried the series for me, and I would love to get just a book on her because she was my favorite character, and I appreciated her storyline and her growth and just her outcome. I think it was absolutely fantastic. The last thing that I did want to touch on is that I don't like how many character deaths we had. I feel like it's a weird thing to have an opinion on, I guess. I don't know why. I feel like, especially fantasy series, they do need some. Okay, let's be honest. I feel like a lot of authors write fantasy series and they keep everybody alive. These people are at war. Things are gonna happen. I understand authors want to keep us happy and keep characters here, but I feel like with fantasy series, there needs to be a couple, right? But with this series, I just feel like we lost everybody. At that point, I'm like, okay, this is too much. I'm like, things are finally looking up and then we're still losing people, and I did not like it. And there was one person, their death was, it didn't seem necessary at all, and I hated it. I actually hated it a lot. Like I said, love this series, would recommend it, but there were things that stuck out to me that I just couldn't enjoy fully. I think I'm gonna rate this one anywhere from a 3.5 to a 4. So I guess a 3.75 is what I'm going to stick with. So that is A Sky Beyond the Storm. That is an Ember in the Ashes series. 4 books completed. Going into the last book for this video and the last book in a trilogy. We're reading A Curse for True Love. I am on page 206 of this, chapter 26, so we're a little over halfway through. I think it's like 381 pages. And this series so far for me is getting better with each book. I read the second book at the beginning of this month. Was that my first book of this month? It was my first physical book of this month. I know that. I don't know if I read a Kindle book before that or a library book before that, but it'd be interesting if that was my first book and I'm finishing off August with the last book in the trilogy. But yeah, this one huh? Evangeline, our main character, is definitely going through a lot of struggles in this one as well. The second book is what brought up a lot of issues with figuring out who Evangeline could trust. I think it's being done very well. This series is definitely a mix of some fun events and intense events as well. Not too intense. It is YA. I feel like this is still a lighthearted series despite what's going on. There are still very evil characters in this series, and it's not anything too intense. Very lighthearted, but it still has that good mix of evil and fun. And this is another series and book where I just can't wait to figure out how it ends and see how this whole trilogy wraps up. So I plan on finishing this today. I do have almost 200 pages to go. I'm reading through this very quickly. I read like over 150 pages last night. I do apologize for not updating too much in this vlog. Life's been crazy. Life's been busy with work and stuff. I haven't really had too much time, but I hope it's still okay. At least I'm getting through these series and I still feel satisfied with completing them. And we're getting down there. We're dwindling down. I'm very happy. I love like series reading vlogs. I think they're so refreshing and relieving after you finish series. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Hiya. I started editing this video and then I realized that I never finished the video. I have to give you my final thoughts on A Curse for True Love. I swear I talked about this, but I guess I didn't. Unless I deleted the clip, I have no idea. I do need to check how many series I am in the middle of now after I've completed all these because I don't remember. I don't remember anything. I think I've been filming this video for a month. 15? 16? What did I start this out with? 19? You guys will know. Me currently, I don't know. I should be the one that knows, but I don't. Anyway, A Curse for True Love. I really enjoyed this book as well. This whole trilogy was so top tier for me. It's not something that I'm going to remember in the long run or that I'm gonna completely reflect on and go back to from time to time, but I still thoroughly enjoyed this so much. It was such a fun young adult fantasy fairy tale-esque type series, and I loved our characters. I think the plotline was super fun. I do wish the ending was a little drawn out more, and I wish we had more, but I did like the ending. And the ending made me feel like we're gonna get another spin-off series. I know Caraval was kind of the prequel series to this, if you will, because these worlds are related in some way, or the characters pop back up in this series. So I don't know, maybe we'll get another spin-off series because the ending, the last line, was definitely something that made me feel like it could continue. And I think I said this before, that this series, every book got better for me, which is so rare. Normally when I'm reading a series, I love the first book because it's that introduction to the world and those characters and you're getting to know the storyline and it's so interesting and it's captivating like right from the get-go. But then sometimes as series continue, I just care less and less for them because they get a little stagnant or they don't flow as easily as the first book and there's not that much to them. But with this one, I feel like each book added something more to the plot line and the characters. So I'm probably gonna rate this like a 4.25, 4.5. I don't really know. I don't really solidify my ratings. They're a little all over the place. I just give a little range, but I mean, I like this book. I would recommend this whole series, and I feel like that's all you need to know about my thoughts. So that is A Curse for True Love. We have finished the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. They are up there on my shelves, and they look so beautiful together. I also want to mention, I was gonna say this before, this color on this spine reminds me of the Pez candy, and it makes me want them. I used to love Pez dispensers. That's so random, but every time I look at this, I think of a Pez. That is our final book. So we read 4 books in this vlog. Technically 3 were counting towards series. I believe we're down to 16. If I'm wrong, I'll edit it and put it on the screen, but I believe we're down to 16 now. If you looked at the series picture that I put up here and you guys want me to read any of those series in a reading vlog, let me know. I do want to continue the Twilight series next. I think that's what I'm going to focus on. So next time I do a series reading vlog, I'll definitely have New Moon in that one, I believe. And then other than that, I'm not entirely sure. I don't really know what I'm feeling right now. That is it for this video. Thank you guys for joining me. If you want to stick around so you can see how long it takes me to finish out these series or how much I can dwindle them down, feel free to subscribe so you can see all my videos and all my updates, all bookish things. But that's gonna be it. I will see you guys in my next video, whatever that may be. I hope you have a great day or a great night wherever you are, and I'll see you later. Bye.